do you guys do when you have a customer that says, hey, I can get this really cheap part for really cheap versus maybe an OE or an OE equivalent? How do you weigh the pros and cons with your customers?
I refer to the deli sign. Cheap food isn't good and good food isn't cheap. But really, I just tell them that quality doesn't matter and you don't want to do a job twice. And the reason why I could give them a 2-year warranty on the whole job is because I use quality stuff and I make sure that we pick and choose where we get our parts from and only ask for the best.
So you've almost done their homework for them so they don't have to waste their time clicking through 1,000 pictures on the internet to get a good part.
For sure. That's what I do.
That's awesome.
That's what I do.
There's a lot of fugazis out there. It says it's one thing and it's really not. And a lot of parts that are coming from overseas that are not what they say they are. And I explain it like, toilet paper?
I do.
You got your your single ply, and then you got like your thick. You only need 2 squares, but then some of them you need you got to wrap your hand in that whole thing. I'm serious. It makes a difference. And whether it's your battery or your filter, if you're not using quality, it just tears up and it doesn't do its job.
Not only that, I think there's other issues too. Maybe it doesn't fit the way the factory designed it to. So you take that battery or that air filter and maybe the not OE equivalent doesn't seat well. Now our airflow into our engine's not correct. Now our check engine light comes on.
Right on.
Yes, because we installed an incorrect air filter. Or maybe our battery that, if it were a good quality battery, installed properly, proper fitment with our cables, last 5 years, where that one that's just 10 millimeters too small, now our cables are stretched, now we have problems with our electrical system, our charging system or whatever. It's so much bigger than just $5 difference in the part you're buying.
Right, and I think that's it. It's so much bigger than the $5 difference because it's gonna cost you $500 to fix it afterwards, after the cables burn out because you put the wrong battery in, because you thought, if you saved a couple of bucks, but you got, 25 less cranking amps, and now it doesn't start properly. You're causing other problems in other areas. And that's a huge problem, especially with online shoppers and then the people who are coming in with their own parts. It's actually a nightmare.
Yeah.
And then you have to explain that. How's that go?
Yeah, so it's not easy to tell them, but you got to tell the truth and tell them that from our experience, what has to be done. And again, proper fit is really big too, as well as the quality of it and how long it's going to last. But if it doesn't fit right, it's not going to work right.
And I think, like Rob pointed out, the icing on the cake is, hey, I can warranty this one.
You're on your own.
We can plug it in, and you might need to be buying one for me anyway.
And that happens a lot, right?
Yes, it does.
It sure does. And they tie up the bay.
That's right.
And then it sits there, and then it's like my problem that you got the wrong part.
Right.
And it becomes our problem all the time. Yep. And we want to make friends, not make enemies. But sometimes it turns around to be, unfortunately, the customer doesn't want to be to blame. It becomes our problem.